When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk, people.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to a special edition of Make We Talk on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. This evening I have with me Aldo Antonio, Executive Chairman of the National Transport Alliance Group Limited, NTAG rather. We're going to speak about should former police commissioner Owen Ellington be named chairman of the Transport Authority. A lot of Jamaicans are saying no. A lot of transport operators are saying no, he should not be named. But the Minister of Transportation, Daryl Vaz, has said that it's only left for the Senate now to approve Mr. Ellington to be the chairman of the Transport Authority Board. This evening I want to dig deep within it. I have with me my good friend Aldo. Aldo, good evening to you, sir. Welcome to Make We Talk.
Hi, Jeffrey. Thank you. And welcome. Hello to your listeners and viewers.
Yes, sir. Your views on the whole idea of former Commissioner of Police Owen Ellington to be named chairman of the Transport Authority?
My initial reaction is somewhat neutral at this point, simply because I don't have a lot of insights in the context of his appointment. What I can say, however, is that my general understanding is that when somebody is invited to join a board, or to chair a board more specifically, that person is expected to come to the board with a certain level of skill sets that adds to the complement of skill sets on the board. So from that perspective, I can have an opinion based on what I understand the former commissioner's skill sets are. And therefore, as a former commissioner of police, he would have, I would imagine, a fair amount of experience in managing very complex situations, very complex operations. And he would have had some experience in leadership.
Yes.
But if I were to be specific in relation to the Transport Authority, what has been my thought around it was that presently there are a number of vexing issues within the transport sector as it relates to operators and their interaction and interface with the police. And it is my view that former Commissioner Ellington should be able to bring some kind of reconciliation, resolution, understanding of the two sides and help to alleviate some of this, if not all of the frustrations and the anger and the overall discontent in that relationship, which I think is important, that needs to be resolved. So if he can do that, I think that his appointment within the Transport Authority as the chairman should be effective.
Mm-hmm.
So from that perspective, I think that it's probably a good thing.
Yes. I have joining us now the chairman of the National Democratic Movement, my good friend, Sir Michael Williams. Sir Williams, welcome to the Make We Talk program, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry I'm a few minutes late, but I'm here.
That's okay, man.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Aldo.
Good,
Sir
good.
Williams, your views on the idea of the Minister of Transportation to name a former Commissioner of Police, Owen Ellington, as chairman of the Transport Authority Board?
Well, is it the Transport Authority Board or is it the All Island
The
Traffic
Transport Authority.
Transport Authority?
Yes.
Well, that place needs a good shake-up. And if anybody can do it, Owen Ellington can do it. He was a very effective police commissioner, and despite the situation in Tivoli, when he was not really the ground commander, because in a state of emergency, it is the army that is in charge, right? And despite those misgivings and that hiccup there, and the other issues that surrounded him, and that when he had to resign from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, I believe he served the JDF, in my opinion, very well as a man coming up. The JCF, yes. And he came through the ranks and he became commissioner. I believe he was a very effective commissioner up to with the hiccups. And I think if he puts his head to the wheel, or shoulders to the wheel, I believe that he can do a lot in the Transport Authority.
But Michael, Mr. Williams, rather, a lot of Jamaicans are saying, and also the transport sector, that the goodly gentleman had some hiccups when he was commissioner of police, and under his watch, a lot of police officers mistreat and ill-treat and all kind of treat the public transport sector and also citizens. What sort of new and different thing would he be bringing to the transport sector?
Well, what he will bring to the transport sector is law and order. That is what I'm hoping that he will bring, law and order. Because right now, the transport sector need law and order more than anything else, right? And if he can work out a good relationship with the present commissioner of police to get law and order into the underground, the taxis and the bus people are, I would say, they contribute up to 60 or 70% to the lawlessness that's going on the road right now. And it really needs somebody with experience of law and order to...
I have lost you there, Mr. Williams.
Do a great shake-up for law and order on the street, and that is what I'm hoping that will happen. He will be able to bring in a certain amount of...
Are you hearing me, Aldo?
Discipline.
Yes, I can hear you.
Sector.
I can
Michael. Yeah, he's fading.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Michael, your sound has disappeared. What's going on?
Well, what happened is that a phone call was coming in and I ignored the phone call.
Okay, repeat what you're going to say now. Repeat what you were saying earlier on.
Okay, what I was saying is that he can bring law and order to the transport sector. The transport sector, I believe 60 or 70% of the type of behavior that takes place on the road is attributed to both the taxis and the bus drivers. And I believe that he will be able to bring the type of discipline within the sector and also on the road, with the transport authority being more vigilant, getting more persons on the ground and with the cooperation that he can bring to with the present Commissioner of Police, I believe that what is needed now is a lot of law and order on the streets.
I have with me, joining us right now is Steve Hessing. He's a transport operator. Steve, welcome to the program. Mr.
He's
Hessing?
muted.
His mic is muted. You have to unmute
as
him.
soon as he's ready to speak, then we'll have him on. Let us go to Mr. Antonio. Aldo, there's a lot of people questioning why should the minister really put Owen Ellington, who, when he was Commissioner of Police, he presided over a police force that mistreat, ill-treat members of the public, especially public transport operators.
First of all, I have a concern with these generalities that you keep referencing. A lot of people. What is a lot of people? Sometimes we have to be careful in how we ascribe these quote unquote lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
If there are 2 or 3 people who have expressed such a view, it is not a lot of people. So I think we need to be careful in how we ascribe weight to 3 or 4 voices in relation to the sum total. But what I would like to think of, though, what I'd like to present to this discussion is what I see happening today.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a wind of change taking place. Things are changing. I see things changing. I sense things changing. And whatever may have happened in the past, there are reasons, I'm sure, for what happened. And I don't know exactly what happened or what transpired. But I am looking at what is happening today. And when I look at the police force today, for example, I'm seeing a completely different kind of an approach, a different kind of mindset in the way the police operates. I'm also sensing within the leadership in the public sector a sense of change in the way they want to approach things.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if Owen Ellington is as smart as I think he is, he will use this opportunity to make a change in the Transport Authority, ensuring that his legacy is properly written. So I don't think he's going there to make things worse, or if he's going there to maintain the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
When I listen to the Minister Vaz is of the view that his mandate is to make the changes that are necessary to be made to make the transportation sector viable, efficient, and effective that takes Jamaica into 2030. And therefore, his mandate to former Commissioner Owen, I would imagine, will be to do what is necessary to create the transformation necessary to make the transportation sector better. So I think it is based on that we need to assess, can he do it? And like Michael, I think that he has the necessary skill and competence, the necessary connections in the police to do what is necessary to bring about the necessary changes from their perspective.
Yes.
So I wouldn't necessarily harp too much on the parts.
Okay. We have with us now Steve Hessing. Mr. Hessing, unmute your mic. Steve, welcome to the program.
Yes, good night, Mr. Williams. Good night, Aldo, and good night, Mr. Jeffrey.
Good night to you,
Brother
sir.
Steve, how are you?
Aldo,
Brother Steve, how are you?
I would never say like what you would just say. I am great. I am great, Mr. Aldo.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
And Mr. Williams. Yes, Aldo. I would never say like what you would just say. Why I would never say like what you just say? See, Mr. Radcliffe Lewis was the head of the traffic, and then put Mr. Radcliffe Lewis to security, JUTC, and it worse than how him go there. All these guys were retire. Them just come and sit down and get fatter. Them fat already, them just come, sit down and get fatter, and them do nothing at all. I know Mr. Ellington very well. And when he was the head of the traffic in field most miserable. So when now them put him to eat some food and shake him leg, you believe him going to do something better. None of them cares about the transportation sector. None of them. Only thing them cares about is to put some money in them pocket and get fatter.
But Steve, I mean, there's a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, because people have spoken to, as what Aldo said, we can't say 2 people is a lot. But I've spoken to about a dozen people. To be honest, I have spoken to about a dozen people. And their opinion is that somebody younger than Mr. Ellington could have bring something new to the Transport Authority. Why is it that we keep on bringing in all these former people who retire? What about the younger set of Jamaicans who are coming up? Is it that you?
Yeah, but Jeffrey. Yeah, but Jeffrey, is it that we're looking for youth, or we're looking for a certain competence based on what is required now?
Well, in a sense, yes. You're looking for people who have the knowledge and the wisdom and whatever. But on the other hand,
based on what is required now.
Yes.
You say you have to assess a situation and then determine, based on what you know have to deal with, what is the best skill sets you need to apply to this situation to bring about the results you're looking for. And who within the range of individuals you have to choose from has that skill set to deal with exactly what you want to deal with. This is not a situation that requires youth. Youth is not a qualification for the situation that's required in the transportation sector. As Michael said, what is required in the transportation sector now is a certain level of dialogue and conversation that will resolve a lot of the vexing issues that are happening between operators and the police.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's required now. And so it requires somebody who understands how the police works and thinks and how it operates. And sitting within the Transport Authority, he's able to understand how the Transport Authority works and executes its mandate.
Mm-hmm.
And can therefore use both sides to find a way to resolve the issues that are currently facing the sector.
Yes.
Remember, he's not there in an operational capacity, He's there in a policy directive capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be on the ground or on the road per se. Well, he may do that. But his role as chairman of the Transport Authority Board is more from a policy directive perspective.
Steve, has it? Steve?
Yeah. Yes, man, I'm here.
What are members of the transport sector saying?
All right, I have a meeting today. Today is Wednesday. I have a meeting Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And most everybody saying that Mr. Owen Ellington is just a failure. All around him, just a failure. And if Transport Authority to find some young people with have some young man who can get up and come up with some ideas, Because let me tell you something, a transport authority is the head for the transportation in Jamaica. And if Mr. Ellington was the head of traffic and in failed, what you believe him can bring to the table at transport authority now?
Mm.
Me don't know what he can bring to the table. Because he failed
Steve,
when he was head of traffic in failed. Yeah.
Steve, let me ask you a question. Based on what is currently happening in the sector, what kind of skill
Yeah.
sets do you think is required of an individual at this point? If we were to put out a job
Number
application,
one.
if we were to put out an application for the job, what would be the criteria that you're looking for? What would be the job description you're looking for?
Me, I don't look on. Yeah. Number one, I will look on somebody who is not in politics. Because anytime I mix up in politics and mix up with the transportation sector, it's going to be one of the most corrupted. Because let me tell you something, Mr. Aldo. Now, 95% of presidents is appointed by politics. And because of that, we cannot go further. We cannot go nowhere.
Which
Every
presidents?
step we step 1 foot, then push you up. 95% of president them in the transportation sector.
Steve, what president are you talking
In the
about?
transportation sector.
So you're saying that the presidents of the transport sectors, they're appointed by politicians?
Yes, man. Yes, man. And we know that by facts. All right. Number one, I record when we just start go around and trying to put the association together. I was one of them who go around Jamaica, put the association together. And if you go in some parish, MP, them and everybody say, boy, you know, John Thomas a good person, give John Thomas and so. Because the head of transport authority was corrupt. The head of transport authority was corrupt. So them try to corrupt the system where them give them people work. Up till now, there was a meeting 2 weeks ago where the new Minister of Transport come and him give out certificate to the president of the Route Taxi Association. And the Route Taxi Association cannot do certain things. Them cannot strike. No matter what is going on, the president them cannot come out and strike. Because if them say them going to strike, the transport authority call them in and iron fist them. Iron fist them. Because I know this president was at St. Thomas. Him died a few years ago. The transport, because the man lick out against them, the transport authority call him to books, scrap him association. Him have to carry them go court and win them. Him have to carry them go court and win them. So it corrupt what in your head, it's just coming down.
Hold on, Jeffrey. I just want to clarify something here. I don't have any evidence to support what Steve is suggesting, and therefore I have to make a disclaimer that I do not support the claim that he's making because I have no evidence to support it. So while I am listening, I am not endorsing or approving because I have no evidence to support it. I just want us to be clear on that.
Okay.
I have no evidence of corruption or political appointment of these presidents. I have no information in relation to those matters. So.
Let us not go into that too much because the topic this evening, and I hope Mr. Williams come back on because we're going to speak about the national integrity. But the topic for this evening with you and Steve is Owen Ellington becoming chairman of the transport group. You know, my take on it, my honest take on it, I don't think Mr. Ellington should be given that position. That's my honest take. And one of my reasons is this. For far too long, we in this country continue putting. I'm not saying that we shouldn't put people of experience in positions, but why we keep on overlooking the young Pacific Jamaicans who want this country to go forward, who is dying to this country to go forward. We speak of a 2030 vision to live, work, and raise family, wherein majority of Jamaicans are leaving the country because they can hardly find any jobs and they're leaving. So now a position came up. You're saying to me that Minister Daryl Vaz couldn't find somebody else?
Like who?
Is it because the minister
Like who, Jeffrey?
Pardon me?
Like who?
There must be other people we could have found.
Yes, I'm saying yes. So give me 2 names.
Off the top of my head right now. Okay. Why couldn't he find Akeem Dobson? A young man who you may not know him. But he's a graduate from the University of the West Indies. And he's looking a job. It's hard for him to get a job. He has all his degree behind his name.
No. Hold on. This is not a job fair, where we're finding jobs for people.
But hold on, Aldo. Obviously, it is a job fair. Why he put Owen Ellington? Why couldn't he get somebody else?
No, we're not gonna have a conversation if the structure of the conversation is based on an emotional reaction.
No. It's not an emotional reaction. It is not an emotional reaction.
So first of all, let me just clarify something. I am not here in defense of former Commissioner Ellington. I am just looking at the information in front of me and assessing it and giving an opinion based on that. And I'm saying that both yourself and Steve are asking for youth as a consideration. And I'm saying to you, why is youth a serious consideration for what is required to do the job now? No, you asked as well, Jeffrey. Yes. You selected youth, so I'm asking why is youth? Yeah.
One of the reasons why
same like how them find Ellington to put.
Go ahead, Steve.
Same like how them find Ellington to put in a job. If they may put it out, you can find young people with young ideas, with a lot of capacity where them can do a job. Them can do a job. Same like how Ellington do it. Them can do better job. Because Ellington something here. If Ellington try and then fail, I'm putting Ellington in Radcliffe Lewis position too. Radcliffe they are head of traffic and him fail. See them come put him at JUTC and him fail. Just because of politics. Frontline duty is just politics. Although I respect you as a man who trying in a transportation sector. You're fighting hard for a transportation sector. But the frontline duty is politics. The man them a play. Straight politics them a play. And a hit while the transportation sector cannot move on. We have too much politicians in there, so them going to play straight politics. All right, boss.
I don't want my viewers or my listeners to believe that I have anything against the gentleman Owen Ellington. What I was saying when I heard the whole appointment and said he's suggesting that he's waiting in the Senate now for them to confirm it. But what I was saying is that over the years we continue putting retired people in positions. Yes, they may have the qualification, but why can't you put it out there that, hey, we need a chairman for the transport authority, or you get a group of individuals then. Get a group of individuals then, and you vet the individuals to become the chairman. Am I making any sense to you, Aldo?
That is one approach that I think could be applied if that approach is what is required. But based on my understanding of the process, it is the minister who has the prerogative, I think, to make that appointment in his best judgment. It is not a position that he put out to tender.
And that is why I'm going to say something here that may not, it's going to apply to the whole conversation. That is why we in this country, we're speaking about constitutional reform.
Which country, Jeffrey?
In Jamaica.
Because you're not in Jamaica. So when you say this country, which country are you referring to?
No, Aldo. No, Aldo.
I just want to be clear.
We in this country, Jamaica, we are having constitutional reform. Okay? And we need to put in the constitution that ministers can't appoint people because of their friends and because they have the power to appoint people and just get away with it. The constitution must be structured in a way where if they want to appoint a Steve Hessing as chairman for the transport authority, it has to go through to the Senate, where the Senate vet a Steve Hessing. They go to the Senate, the Senate may chat on whatever, but the final thing, the final say belongs to the Minister of Transportation. And it cannot continue like this in this country, where they continue putting in their friends to become ministers, to become chairman and appoint their friend to become this, appoint their friend to become that. You have other people in this country who can become chairmen and who are qualified to become chairmen. I see someone in the chat room is asking, why is it that Mr. Ellington was asked to resign as police commissioner? We all know why, but it's for a different conversation. A lot of Jamaicans are saying that the man should not be appointed there. Everybody have the different opinions on it. But a lot of people in this country, and you keep on saying to me, I mustn't say a lot. But if you all do a survey right now in the public transport sector and ask the men and women in the public transport sector, do you think that Mr. Ellington should become the chairman for the transport authority? They will tell you no. They will tell you no. And one of my things is this. Mr. Ellington presided over a police force that believe that they should, when they stop people on the road, want boy, come out of the car, boy, thump and backs. So if you preside over something like that, what sort of new ideas you're going to bring to the table for the transport authority, for the transport sector? Aldo?
You're the one making up. You are the one making a point in a Jeffrey, and you are the one.
Am I chatting nonsense?
Well, I don't know if it's nonsense you're chatting, but what I can say is that you're using a whole range of things to make a point, which is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
As I've said to you before, I am seeing for myself, and I'm experiencing for myself, a certain level of transformation and change taking place across the public sector. A lot of people who had views like myself are seeing a difference.
Okay, I'm gonna play something for you, is it? I'm gonna play something for you, Mr. Aldo.
Wait, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, 1 second here. Jeffrey.
Go ahead.
Jeff.
Go ahead.
1 second here. Aldo.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Aldo, me hear say you see a difference in the transportation sector.
No, I never said the transportation
When
sector.
that Aldo, which transportation sector?
No. Hold on, Steve. He said the public sector.
Okay, public sector. Sorry.
Yes.
Me check say transportation sector.
No.
Because me had to tell you say no, we get we get a minister who just leave. For 15 or 16 months we get that minister. And that minister come tear down the transportation. It said they are 10% and him throw it down to about 4%. Because look at Mr. Ellington. Mr. Ellington was the head of the transport authority, and Mr. Ellington was trying to elevate the transportation. He was trying to take out, build the transportation sector. And that minister come, Mr. Ellington have to run away because I'm minister. And this one come now, we don't know what him come with, but we still look, and him come carrying a man who is failed of the police force. Them have to tell him to retire. He never reach retirement age. Them have to force him to retire. And now, them put him into a comfort spot now, a comfort zone, where what him going to bring to the table. Me don't know, and I would like Aldo to tell me what him believe this man can bring to the table. Aldo me asking that, what him believe Mr. Ellington can bring to the table in the transportation sector.
Like I said, Steve, it is my view that there is a fair amount of discontent between the police, especially the traffic police, and operators currently in the sector.
Yes.
It's at a point that needs to be addressed as an immediate action. I think that given former Commissioner Ellington's experience within the police force, he brings a certain intimacy in how the police operates and functions. And as you indicated, he was a former traffic head. I don't know if that's a fact, but you said that he was the former head of the traffic unit, which if correct, would give him far more experience. So if that is required, then somebody who has that knowledge and experience, I think, is the best person to help navigate and bring the kind of resolution that needs to be brought to the table to solve that problem.
All right. Let me come in now. I'm gonna play a video. I must apologize to the listening and viewing audience. There are some words in there that I was trying to block it, but it can't come out. I want you to watch this video and listen to this. This is the same police force that the former Commissioner of Police presided over. And it's the same police force that the current Commissioner of Police is presiding over. No, I'll watch this for me.
Most of money in a BMW. Fuck you now, Dana. Fuck you now. Fuck you now, man. For me, have all the family. Fuck the reality, man. Man, they have not drive the vehicle. A man, they have not drive no vehicle. Pussy, what can them do? Look what them do, and the man, they not drive no vehicle. What them do that? See them soon them blood clot in the house, father. Watch it. Soon them in.
The man not do them, no. No, the man not do them.
Hello, Jeffrey, are you there? Jeffrey, you're muted.
You come like Jeffrey jump out.
You know, I was watching that video, Steve, and there's no way that anybody could endorse the activities and the actions of the police. There's no way we could endorse that. And so, whatever it is they were doing, whatever the cause or the reason, there was no justification for that kind of action. So, I have no issues in condemning that kind of action. It's not right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Stephen, I'm sure you'll agree with me that it is not a representation of the entire police force. It's just like how you and I would also agree, Steve, I'm sure, that the small percentage of drivers within the public transportation sector who are causing the mayhem on the road are not representative of the transportation sector. I'm sure you'll agree with that, Steve.
Yeah, man, I agree with that, man.
Fine. So while there are those poor policemen who are behaving in a manner and in a way which is totally unacceptable, we cannot cast a blanket over the entire police force and the entire police force is like that.
No, we can't say that.
I have encountered policemen who have been very professional, very courteous, and I tell you, I've been very surprised. So I have had experiences with policemen who have been very professional, very courteous. So like I said to Jeffrey, we have to be careful in how we use one or two examples to cast a blanket over the entire 100%.
That is true, because I get in talking with police already, and the police are come and me have to make him understand, say, if I fight, we can't ready for it. Because I'm not afraid of you. You not even know who is me. And he might move to me, I'm going to drape him up. Yeah, man, I tell you the honest truth. I drape him up and ram him to a light post and them thing there. And the next police was there, and the police come and say, oh no, done, man. It's one or two big people. I'm saying I'm a big man for him. And then the police call him one side and make him understand, say him wrong and everything. And you must go and apologize to the driver, tell him you're wrong and you're sorry. So you have some good police and you have some bad police. We have some good PPV sector and we have some bad one in our sector. But you can't use a little percentage to cover everybody. And
Amen.
that's what we do.
Yeah,
you see one taxi man drive bad. When you see a taxi man drive bad, everybody say, what you do to taxi boy them? I just want.
I
Yes,
must
Jeff.
apologize to my viewers. I lost connection a while ago. Are you hearing me, Steve? Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, I'm hearing you.
You know, I must apologize. Welcome back to the Make We Talk program. I lost connection a while ago with the internet. One of the reasons why I play this, is in what way can the former commissioner of police, who's going to become chairman for the transport authority, in what way can he help members of the public and members of the transport sector and extension members of the public In what way can he help them that police do not do what I see in this video, where a policeman put his foot on a citizen's neck in this country? And you hear nothing about it. It happened on Mr. Ellington's watch before, when he was Commissioner of Police. Now he's going to become the chairman for the transport sector. That cover every single Jamaican in this country who drives. Is it that Mr. Ellington gonna coincide or work with the Commissioner of Police now to figure out in what way can they stop all of this nonsense that's going on? Where policemen believe that Aldo is their son, so they can put a box on Aldo and get away with it. Because majority of the public transport sector can hardly read and write. They are not from the elite of society in this country. Those are the things that I am asking, and those are the things that I have concern over. Mr. Ellington presided over a police force who believe that they can go around, box Jamaican citizens, kick them down, gun butt them. He did nothing about it. And now he's going to become the chairman for the public transport sector. What new ideas is he bringing to the table?
Just for clarification there, Jeffrey, are you saying that you have evidence to support the fact that nothing was done in the specific case that was shown in the video?
I have evidence that nothing was done about it.
Nothing was done about it?
Nothing was done about it.
Okay.
And this has been going on for years in this country, where police gun butt citizens and get away with it. Nothing was done. So are we to believe that Owen Ellington is going to come and clean up the public transport sector? If he couldn't clean up the police force?
What is your view of the police force now?
The view of the police force now?
Yeah.
Number one, the Minister of National Security need to resign. Number two, the Commissioner of Police need to step down too. They have failed the people of this country miserably when it comes on to security. They can't secure the people of this country. The police force get donor funds in the tune of billions of dollars. Yet the police force, yet the rank and file and the men and women of the police force do not have a proper ballistic vest. They don't have proper service cars. So why should we have a Major General Anderson to still remain as Commissioner of Police? Why should we have the Minister of National Security, Dr. Harris Strong, to still remain as Minister of National Security? And every time he got to Parliament, up to yesterday, went to Parliament to ask for an extension of the Zozo. Is it that the Zozo is a crime prevention method? It is the only thing that have to prevent crime in this country, to fight crime in this country?
I have a different
problem in this country.
I have a different perspective on many of the things you've said, and like I said, it's a personal experience, and many of the things you have just referenced, I think, were things that were true probably 10 years ago. What I'm seeing today is a very different situation.
In what way?
Let's look at based on the information that I have, the police allocation in the budget has been the highest it has ever been in years. Based on information that I've seen, in terms of the budget allocation. There was a recent expo at the arena
I am aware of the expo.
where the Jamaican Constabulary Force showcased what it is they're doing and what it is they're executing and the kind of technology and the kind of systems that they're putting in place. I saw evidence of significant investment in those things. I have seen, for example, a change in the uniform of the police to make it more easier for them to carry cameras on their person. I am seeing.
Let me ask you a question. I don't want to cut you in because I respect you, but let me ask you something. You have seen a difference in the police force in Jamaica?
Yes.
Fine. You have. Now tell me something now. How many Jamaicans are gone down since the start of the year?
You know, one of the things that I often find myself having to do, especially with a lot of Jamaicans living overseas in particular, is that I have had to look at the crime statistics in Jamaica and kind of separate it out. There are a lot of murders taking place in the country, a lot. But I have had, and I think it's important for me to analyze the numbers. The vast majority of the people being killed are people being killed for reasons that are still not too clear. These are not random killings. These are targeted killings. Gang violence, inter-gang violence, people being called out for hits and all kind of something. And I've said to people that I've had conversations with that many years ago, Carl Stone did a study, and what he said was that a lot of Jamaicans are involved in activities in the informal sector that are below the radar. And these activities are not activities that they can go to court and go to the police to resolve if there's a problem.
All right, you just said something a while ago.
No, let me finish.
Go ahead.
And so what happens in those environments, the only way they think that they can resolve those situations is to deal with it personally. And if you look at a lot of the killings that are taking place, a man walks up to somebody and shoots him and walk away. A man drive up to 4 people standing up at a bar and he's going after one person, he shoots that one person and then drive off. There's no robbery or anything. A lot of the murders being committed in this country are being committed by people who have vengeance and vendetta and things against specific people, and they're trying to resolve it within themselves.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you look at the numbers will tell you that.
A Minister of National Security disapproval rated. Hold on for me, Steve. A Minister of National Security disapproval rating 93%. A Commissioner of Police 91% disapproval rating. You just said that most of the crime committed in the country is inter-gang whatever. You also said that the JCF had an expo showing off all the things that they have. So how is it that they can't solve crime in the country?
You know, one of the things I always lament about movies, when you watch a movie sometimes, well, most times when you watch these movies with these horrific ends, it's always when the movie is almost finished, that's when the police turn up. after the crime has been committed. Part of the difficulty with policing is that they can't do anything until the crime has been committed. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. And
They
most of the time, the police officers don't have the vehicles to go on a crime scene. They have a chartering taxi. Are you aware of that?
I've heard instances of that, yes.
Okay. So if the current government give the police force one of the highest budget of national security in Jamaica's history, how is it that members of the JCF don't have any vehicle to drive to protect the people of St. Elizabeth, to protect the people of Negril? How is there only one service vehicle they have, yet they have billions and billions of dollars in the national budget?
Well, I would agree with that.
Senator Don Webby talk in Parliament that either 95 or 85% of the security budget has been given back to the government coffers. Like it has not been spent. So how is it that we are here talking about that they have money in the budget to do this and to do that, but yet the members of the JCF do not have the tool to carry out their duty? Who is to be blamed for that, Aldo?
Well, I would say this to you, Jeffrey. I am not the best person to be asking these questions of, because I don't have the data and the information to respond to that in a way that addresses the question properly. Like I said to you before, and I can only give you responses based on my own personal experience, which in light of what you're presenting and what you're asking me for is not sufficient.
You're the one who mentioned something pertaining to crime and the ministers and whatever, And I'm just saying.
Yes, and I'm saying to you that information is based on the statistics that I have.
Okay. You
all right.
Steve, go ahead.
Jane, come on. Yeah, you know what is wrong with us in Jamaica? We pan finger, or your finger reach nowhere. The real facts about it, in Jamaica, crime pays. And because crime pays, a lot of people turn them back on crime. I record a few years ago, Spanish Town in St. Catherine was the worst place to walk. You walk, people kill you. Like how you spray ants. Or you use big gun to spray ants. So, man used to dead in Spanish Town. There was a police named Harry Bongo. I don't know if you guys hear about him.
I'm aware of him.
Harry Bongo's come Spanish Town. Eh? You ever hear about him, Jeff?
Yes, I'm aware of him. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, when Harry Bongo come in Spanish Town.
Steve, my sincere apologies, but
yeah,
Jeffrey, I have to leave at 8 o'clock for another meeting.
No problem. Aldo, thank you very much for coming on.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming on. That's Aldo.
Thank you, Aldo.
Antonio.
And a long time we don't talk.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, man, Steve, we need to talk more, Aldo, but you're kind of busy.
Go ahead, Steve. He already gone. Go ahead, Steve. Let's start.
And when Harry Bongo come in Spanish Town, yeah, when Harry come in Spanish Town, Harry say all crime must stop. All shooting must stop. Harry go around all the districts in Spanish Town, all the areas, and find the tools done. Tools done on the both sides, and find all of them. Him call a meeting with them and say, him is the only bad man in a Spanish Town. Government pay him to bad. If a man fire a gunshot in any area, him coming for a tool done. Because a must done them give them a okay. And Harry was in Spanish Town and about 8 months, he never hear a gunshot fire in Spanish Town. Never hear nobody dead. Until the same corrupt person them move him from Spanish Town. So what you trying to say to me? I'm sorry, say Aldo gone. You understand?
Steve, let me say something to you, Steve. There is absolutely no way in any other modern democracy you can have a Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice, Twiddly Dum Dum Harris Chang. And I apologize to nobody.
Who's sleeping?
Who is sleeping while people in this country is being gunned down as Blackbird. His administration was the one who said we're gonna make a sleep with the door open. How many Jamaicans in this country have slept with the door open? Huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Jamaicans?
People can't sleep with them. Wait, you can't sleep with the door open for him friend them come kill you. For him friend them come kill you. Looking at Montego Bay, St. James. Montego Bay, St. James, where a minister.
In his constituency.
Yes. I most crime are going in there. And him can't stop it. If you can't stop nothing at your yard, all you have to come abroad, come stop him.
He is the Minister of National Security. And the Deputy Minister, and the Deputy Prime Minister, and the Deputy Minister of Defense. And you can't stop the crime pandemic in your own country? And in your constituency, much as your own country?
All I man them in a job.
He's doing a great job.
The crime can cut 80% in Jamaica. The crime can cut even 80% in Jamaica. But the people them who make money out of crime, them don't care.
I'll tell you something, you know. We're faced with a problem in this country. But if we don't stop the politicking in this country, Jamaica's knocking behind Haiti's back door. We're knocking behind Haiti's back door.
Let me tell you something, Jeff.
When we've gone as far as slitting the throat of an 80-year-old, killing an 80-year-old.
One more you want to see? One more you want to hear? I mean, I was looking today, I see something where a 51-year-old man trouble sexual molested one 6-year-old. What you say to me? 51-year-old molested a 6-year-old girl. Why you said that to me now?
The country is gone. And you have people who are just blind to what is going on. And because they live overseas, you don't know. Come on.
Politics are play youth. Politics.
You not put Owen Ellington as chairman, as chairman of the Transport Authority, when he presided over a police force. Remember
what failed most miserable? What failed most miserable? And them have to ask him to retire, to resign. Them have to ask him. Jeff, these are the things why the transportation sector cannot better until something great going to happen. Everybody who come say them edit, corrupt, them playing politics, and through politics them a play. Why this minister come in, why never use a transportation board? Why to use them board? No, he want.
Why didn't he use?
He want a new board. Simple. He want a new board. Okay, why he want a new board? Because him a carry him own a friend them. A same thing, Shaw do. When Shaw come in, he want a new board. Because Ellington also was not his friend. So that's the corruption and everything is repeating, and people see that it is Transport Authority is head by a politician them. And if you cannot do what Transport Authority say, them going to take a position from you. I don't know it when you matter about him, don't know. I just come in about 2 years still, so them depend learning. Yeah. But me can tell you, Jeff, it's sad. it's a very dark day for the transportation sector.
Hello. It is a dark time in the history of this country. It is dark. I hear the Prime Minister say that he's upset when he hears certain people talk on social media. I know they listen to me.
Man.
And I know him watch me. And I'm going to say something to you tonight, Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The time has come for us in this country to call a spade a spade. Your Minister of National Security is not doing one damn thing to solve crime in this country. And the Minister and the Commissioner of Police is not doing one damn thing to solve crime in this country. Quite frankly, they need to go.
A long time. What KD Knight say? Pack your bag and go.
You know, this Prime Minister, all on there, Steve, make I play something here. Make I play something here, and I want you to listen to this keenly, Steve, and tell me if the Prime Minister has done all of this, what he said when he was running for election. This is what he said. Listen to this.
The time to change the system to a fixed election date is now. The time to change the system to a fixed election date is now. Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. This will bring greater certainty to the political process. And by the way, the date will be a date after the budget and not before. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half-truths and trick you into voting for them, and then when them win, them throw on poison.
Now tell me something, Steve. He said this in 2016. What year are we in now?
23.
Has the Prime Minister of Jamaica set a fixed election date? Has the Prime Minister of Jamaica
Yes, sir.
go to Parliament and set a fixed election date? Has he got to Parliament and pass a legislation for impeachment of people whose hand is in publicity? Has he done that?
Him saying in the first 100 days, him going to do a lot of things. And about 1 million days pass and him don't do nothing as yet.
These are the things that is going on in Jamaica. And we sit down in this country, and all because we are labor right or we are comrade. We're afraid to talk.
Politicking. Politicking.
Because of politics. Our party this and our party that. As I've always said on this platform, you know, my name may be Tavares, and I may have family in politics. I am not a member of any political party. My gearbox mash up. I am a Jamaican, and Jamaica come first for me. I entered this world and in this country by labor pain, not by party pain, nor aeroplane. By labor pain. And Jamaica will always be my rock. We must wake up.
Yeah, man. When me hear a commissioner of police say he might change the police uniform and put them in something like soda, the amount of money what him going to spend on that. You know how many things them can do for a police force with that money?
Not only that, Steve. They're talking about we go in Republic. When we go Republic, we're not change the police uniform again, you know? That make any sense? That makes any sense?
Say Andrew change the money, and them people say you don't have no use the money, so yo, money
And not
making
only
thing
that,
you. The man them in a money making.
looking for this. You name Rocky Mead ambassador of plentiful, ambassador plenipotentiary, they want to call it. I call it ambassador of plentiful. Because Jamaica is the only country in the entire world that name an ambassador unto themselves. And the same Rocky Mead presided over the Tivoli Incursion. The same Rocky Mead presided over the 100 soldiers who went up to Keith Clark home and pumped 21 bullets inside a Jamaican citizen, assassinated him on Jamaican soil. The security forces of Jamaica assassinated a Jamaican citizen, and not a damn thing came out of it.
You mad?
Nothing came out
But
of
me
it,
as
Steve.
a Mr. Clark, I'm son, I'm Mr.
His nephew.
But Jeffrey, me as I'm son, but you say I'm never. And me as a that is the position. Alright, me as I why him get that position.
Well, I don't know about that
Just let me
part.
say. Alright. Them don't want sue government and nothing like that. Some here.
This nation of ours, and I'm gonna say this: Jamaica and Jamaicans, both home and abroad. If the People's National Party should wait, if the Prime Minister of Jamaica should call election tomorrow morning, and the People's National Party should win the election, and if Mark Jefferson Golding is going on with his nonsense, I'll be speaking out against it same way too. The corruption that is going on in this country. A lot of Jamaicans keep on saying politicians is corrupt. Is it not only politicians corrupt enough? The Transport Authority corrupt. The Ministry of Transport corrupt. The Ministry of Finance corrupt. The Ministry of Education corrupt. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security corrupt.
The whole Jamaica corrupt.
Thank you. And
The
we
whole
are not
Jamaica
seeing that.
corrupt. And everybody.
Go ahead.
Me as a university or something like that. Them find people who are thief out of $1 million. People get paid who the work there and them things. Something like that.
I heard about it, but I'm not ready to say anything yet, you know.
Everything is government.
I need to find out something.
Everything is government aid. Everything is government aid in Jamaica. Big man them up they take out the money. Everything because them say our own.
My God. Well,
check everything is government own. Check everything why government aid. And see.
Steve, as you talk about that, are you aware of Justice Patterson did something about reparation, where they said that England's supposed to pay Jamaica $99 trillion. Reparation. Yeah. As a Jamaican citizen, let me ask you this question. Do you think that $99 trillion should be given to the government of Jamaica, whether it be paying PRJLP?
No.
Do you believe that $99 trillion should go into a bank account where you name people not related to politics to overlook it, in the sense that that $99 trillion must build hospitals, build schools, build factories, and uplift the Jamaican people? And every spend they spend there's a printout and there's an oversight committee to look at it and say, okay, this is being spent this way, it's being spent that way. And when the hospital must build, it must not be built in the sense of any China harbor building them. It must not be built in the sense of any cost overrun. What do you think about that, Steve?
Yeah, Jeff. If the money come and the government going to have a part in it, them going to thief out a part out of it. I think we owe so many money around the world. I think if British supposed to say, how many money on you owe US, them pay off all of our debt. Because that money can pay off all of our debts.
Our national debt stand at $2 trillion United States dollars. And most of Jamaica's debt, Steve, is internally. Most of Jamaica's debt is owed to the names of the Vumpava and the Vumpavi in Jamaica. The Isses, the Matalans, the Stewarts, the Tavares, this and that.
Yeah, man. Them say we owe them. So that money can't pay off the debt. Because remember, say, a pound we get it into. That money can pay off all the debt. So them supposed to take that money and pay off all the debt and set we free again. And then we start.
Even if they set us free, you know.
Yeah.
The question that we need to ask ourselves as Jamaican citizens, the $2 trillion debt that Jamaica owes, has it benefit the normal man in this country? Have we seen a new hospital built in this country? The $2 trillion hold on there. The $2 trillion debt.
In my pocket.
The $2 trillion debt. Hold on there, Steve. The $2 trillion debt that Jamaica owes. Is there a burned unit being built out of it? Where Jamaicans, if they get burned, they have to be trying to get people over to send them overseas? Those are the questions we must ask ourselves.
Jeff, those money in a people pocket. But what I will say, we want to start a new slate. And we must rise up and make a politician them know that, okay, England give it that money, we pay off our debt. Oh no, guys cannot put me back into a serious debt like that. Because every dollar what no guy going to borrow or spend, it must be open, honest, and transparent. If it cannot be transparent, it cannot. Politicians don't have the power to do it. But if we don't put down our foot, I will get how many children and Williams and bill and dollar. It going like a butter between his son because nobody going to hold accountable for it. If the money, England send the money, everybody just dip them on and take out what they want, and that is it. So we need some oversight committee, not Jamaican. Some put the white people. Yeah man, put the white people. Because I come like a black man, them easy to get corrupt. Put some people from British, some from Switzerland.
Hold on there, Steve. What they need to do, you see, is put Jamaicans who live in the diaspora on the committee to oversight, to overlook that $99 trillion that is owed to Jamaica. And if it is being paid to Jamaica, members of the diaspora, they are the one who must sit on the oversight committee to see how the money is being spent and where the money is being and where the money going. It cannot be that a Daryl Vaz must appoint Owen Ellington to oversight the $99 trillion. It can't be that a Mark Golding must put a Jeffrey Tavares to look over the $99 trillion. It can't be that Andrew Holness must appoint a Steve Hessing or Aldo Antonio or the millionaire Edgerton Newman who is driving an X6 now to oversight the $99 trillion. It cannot be. It has to be members of the diaspora, members who can say, okay, we have Jamaica interests at heart. We must not stand by and allowing the politician or the government to get their hands on that $99 trillion. It cannot be. And in the sense of we right now, they're talking about we going republic. Jamaicans, when the time comes for the referendum, do not vote along party lines. Vote for what you believe in. We do not need a ceremonial president. We need an elected president. We don't need an appointed senators. We need elected senators. We must wake up in this country. Steve, your closing words.
Yes.
Your closing words. I'm going to wrap up now.
Yeah, I'm saying that as a Jamaican who expect the best from Jamaica, we must stop politics ticking. We must stop politicking. We must always look the best for we and our family and everybody's around. Our neighbor, what is the best for us? Not because of politicking, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to politicking, and then an idea, the next person suffer. We must be our brother keeper or our sister keeper.
Thank you very much,
And
Steve Hessing.
last thing, I am not going to vote for that man at Transport Authority. If he fail the nation, he's going to fail us.
I do not believe that Daryl Vaz should appoint former Commissioner of Police Owen Ellington as chairman for the Transport Authority. Mr. Ellington has failed the people of this country when he is Commissioner of Police. What new ideas is he going to bring to the Transport Authority? Jamaica is sinking bit by bit, day by day. And if we in this country, if we Jamaicans in this country don't stand up in this country for this piece of rock, what sort of Jamaica are we going to leave for our children? What sort of Jamaica are we going to leave for our children? And I'm saying this tonight. Jamaicans, both home and abroad, get involved in the saying and in the process of a new constitution, in the process of we becoming a republic. Get your voice, let your voice be heard. Do not allow them to throw on us a ceremonial president. The Governor General cost the country $442 million a year. Do not let them put in a ceremonial president to cost us $442 million a year. Let it be an elected president for the people, by the people, and of the people. The time has come for us to have a say in the drafting of this new constitution. If we all decide that we're not going to go republic, they can't force republic down our throat. But if we have decided that we need to go republic, have a say in the drafting of your new constitution. And when the time comes for us to vote on the referendum, Jamaicans, go out there and vote for the referendum. Vote for a president elected for and by the people of this country. You hear what I'm saying to you all? Mr. Hessing, have a good night. May God bless you for coming on, sir.
Same to you, boss.
Thank you very much. I'm going to end my program with the voice or with the words of the late Senator John Lewis, or the late Congressman John Lewis of the United States.
I got arrested a few times. During the 60s, I went to jail 40 times. Since I've been in Congress, I've been arrested another 5 times. And I'm probably going to get arrested again for something. I'm not suggesting that any of you should go out and get arrested, but when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, stand up and say something, do something. I gave a little blood on that bridge in Selma 53 years ago. I almost died. Some of my friends and colleagues were murdered in Mississippi and other places. I'm not asking any of you to give any blood. I'm just asking you to go and vote like you never voted before. We have to vote. The vote is the most powerful, nonviolent instrument or tool we have in a democratic society, and we must use it. Use it. Go out and vote. Let's go out and vote. Go and vote. I got arrested a few times. During the 60s, I went to jail 40 times. Since I've been in Congress, I've been arrested another 5 times. And I'm probably going to get arrested again for something. I'm not suggesting that any of you should go out and get arrested, but when you see something that is not right, not fair, not just, stand up and say something, do something. I gave a little blood on that bridge in Selma 53 years ago. I almost died. Some of my friends and colleagues were murdered in Mississippi and other places. I'm not asking any of you to give any blood. I'm just asking you to go and vote like you never voted before. We have to vote. The vote is the most powerful, nonviolent instrument or tool we have in a democratic society, and we must use it. Use it. Go out and vote. Let's go out and vote.
Do you need graphic design services? Or maybe you need branding for your business? How about multimedia production services? Contact Browns Media and Graphics at 876-877-1870. Browns Media and Graphics, developing your ideas, creating your style.
This is Make We Talk Breaking News.
News just coming in to us. The government of Martinique and St. Lucia have put their islands under tropical storm watch ahead of the passing of tropical storm Greta. Thus, the island of Martinique and St. Lucia has put their island under tropical storm watch. News just coming in to us. The islands of St. Lucia has put their island under tropical storm watch. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all very much. Have a good night.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, We're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.